So we're given a bit of information at the beginning. Firstly, it says Mrs. Molefe buys raw millis from the farmer at 7 rand each. Now this would obviously be the cost price. Keep that in mind. The farmer delivers the millis to her home at 6 o'clock. Right, that's time there, delivery time. And then also she cooks the millis for 1 hour 50 minutes. Okay, this would be cooking time. She sells them at the taxi rank for 13 rand each. So we have a selling price there. So remember, 7 rand is the cost price and 13 rand is your selling price. She sells them on Mondays to Saturdays. Right, that would be Monday to Saturday would be 6 days. Right, that she'll be selling them. And then a single trip to the taxi rank covers costs 15 rand. Now keep in mind, a single trip means just from point A to point B and not back again. So if we had to consider the fact that point A is the home and she had to go and come back, then you'll obviously have to cater for a double trip. So a single trip is from point A to point B, just one way. Okay, so continuing reading, we have 1.1, and obviously we have a calendar given to us, a February calendar. So 1.1 says determine the number of days that Mrs. Molefe sold the millis. Okay, so we know that from the information given above, we read that we said it was Monday to Saturday. So Monday to Saturday would be 6 days, right? 6 days, right? But obviously that's just one day, 1 week. So if we notice here, we have 6 days, but there are, it's from this point here, right, and obviously to this point here. All right, but notice, keep in mind that we also have this one extra Saturday here in the top. So we have 6 in one row, so 6 times 4, that would be, and we have to add the one Saturday that's above. So our answer will be 25 days. So the next question is, after the delivery, it takes Mrs. Molefe 20 minutes to prepare, and they continue reading, and it says there, at what time will the millis be ready to eat? Now ready to eat means after the preparation and the cooking. So if we remember, they've given us some times there, which was the preparation time, which is obviously given the 20 minutes, and then there's also the cooking time that was given to us, right? The cooking time was 1 hour and 50 minutes. So we need to take this into consideration, as well as after the delivery, because they mentioned after the delivery that then she started preparing. So our starting point will be the 6 o'clock. So let's start off from 6 o'clock and add the 20 minutes. So we have 6 o'clock plus 20 minutes, and this would be easy, right? Will just obviously be 620. Right, remember this is the first part, and then from the 620 we need to add, right? We need to add, therefore, the 620 plus the cooking time now, which is 1 hour and 50 minutes. Right, we can straight away add the 1 hour, so we'll say 6 plus the 1 hour will give us 720. Right, now for the 50, what I normally tell my learners is to take the 50 and break it up in such a way where you reach the next hour. So our next hour will be 8 o'clock. Now in order for us to reach 8 o'clock, we need to take the 40 minutes from there and the 10 minutes from there. Alright, so that would give us our 50. So let's add the 40 minutes. That 40 minutes will give us 8 o'clock. Right, and from that 8 o'clock we add the 10 minutes. So together these two form the 50, and our time will eventually be 10 past 8. Remember, there's different ways of approaching this or writing it down, or formats of writing it down. Please use whichever way is most comfortable for you. In 1.1.3 it says calculate the monthly taxi fare for February. Now remember, there was information given to us at the top regarding the taxi fare, alright, and that is the single trip, and the amount of the taxi fare was 15 rand. Now remember, she's going to be going to the rank and coming back, so that would make a double trip. So we need to take the 15 and multiply it by 2, and this would basically be called a return trip. Alright, we call this the return trip. Now knowing that this is the return trip, this basically is for 1 day. So we need to multiply it by, therefore we need to multiply it by, how many days was it? We agreed it was 25 days from the previous answer that we spoke of. 25 days, and our answer will be 750 rands. 1.1.4, calculate the profit from the sale of 1 milli. Now if you remember the information in the top, they did say that there was a cost price here, and I remember that cost price was 7 rand, and then if you read further, there was a selling price here, right? That's this part here. The selling price is 13 rand and the cost price is 7 rand. So let's subtract those two and we get the profit. So remember, profit is selling price minus cost price. Now selling price is 13 rand minus the cost price is 7 rand, and eventually our answer will be 6 rand. So define the term break even. Okay, so break even would be when there is no profit or no loss. No profit or no loss, right? That could be one definition. The other definition could be when your income equals your expense, right? Or you could say cost. 1.1.6 says write down the formula for calculating the cost per day in the form cost is equal to something plus something times that. Okay, so let's write that down. Cost. So basically our cost would be the taxi fare, right? The taxi fare, which is 30 rand, right? Remember, return trip, plus the cost of the millis, right? We know the information is given there, which is 7 rand, right? Times, now it all depends on how many millis she'll sell, so the number of millis. So that becomes your cost equation. Now 1.1.7, write down the formula for calculating income per day in the form income is equal to something times something. So let's write this down. So remember, your income will be monies coming in. Now we know that she's selling this millis at 13 rand at the taxi rank, and that's monies coming in, so it will be 13 rand. Now all the monies coming in will depend on the amount of millis she sells, so it will be 13 rand times the number of millis. So calculate the profit made if she bought 70 raw millis and only sells 40. So let's first formulate the cost formula, and we know the cost formula would be 30 rand, right, as we previously formulated, plus the 7 rand times the number of millis. Now the number of millis are 70. So punching this in your calculator, you would get an amount of 520. So the next thing we need to do is work out the income for these millis mentioned. Now the income would be, remember, it's 13 rand, it's being sold, each one is 13 rand, times, now there are only 40 that she sells, so 13 times 40 would be 520. Right, and then you'll notice that's 520, so therefore my profit will be, profit is selling price, or we could say income, right, or income minus expense or cost price, right? And remember, our profit will be 520 is my income minus 520, which is the cost, and therefore we're not making a profit. And remember, this is a place where we consider it to be break even, right, where there's no profit and no loss.